Hey, welcome to Geek Speak. I am Trace.
And I am Rob.
What do you want to talk about, brother?
Dude, and did you hear that the artist Drew Struzan passed away?
No.
So he's the guy who done, like, everything's done digital nowadays.
Yeah.
He's the guy that hand painted, like, the Star Wars, Harry Potter movie posters, like, so many different posters.
Yeah.
And he recently passed away. And I imagine, like, his original artwork is going to go through the roof. But, I feel like with his passing, we've kind of lost a skill or ability that just isn't going to exist too much anymore.
Yeah, there's just too much AI art out
Right.
there, and I'm not against AI art, but
Right.
like when I don't know if you go to Pinterest,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes I go to Pinterest and just look at different pictures and stuff, whatever I'm into to get inspired, and about 75% of it now is AI art, and I like the detail and the effort that goes into somebody that actually draws something, somebody actually paints something,
I,
as opposed to
I,
AI.
I get kind of an amusement. So when artists started using computer programming
Yeah,
to do art, a lot of the people that use pen, ink, and paint would be like, "This isn't real art," and they're like, "Yeah, it's still art. We're using our imagination. We're using our skill. It's just a different tool." So now these people are complaining that AI art isn't art.
yeah,
And the people that's doing AI art is like, hey, it's still provoking an emotion. It's still putting out something beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And it's funny to hear them whine because back in
yeah.
the day they were like, well, you can't whine at us. Now they're whining about the next generation.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a place for both, but you definitely don't want just one or the other.
Right.
So, have you seen the new Superman?
No, no, I
Well, I
haven't.
finally saw it. Finally, everybody else
Oh,
has saw it.
okay.
I'm the next to last person to see it, and you'll be the last person to see it.
Yeah.
And I won't ruin it for you. And but I give it a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. Teresa give it a 4, and she's a Superman
See,
fan.
that's the thing. I'm hearing people either love it or
Well,
people just like,
I
eh.
can tell you who loves it. People that don't know anything about Superman.
Oh, okay.
And so, I mean, because James Gunn, he did great on Guardians of the Galaxy, but nobody had ever heard of Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, they were just some little small group that he expanded on. He's done great on the Peacemaker. A lot of people are poo-pooing on season 2, but I liked it. But there again, who'd heard of Peacemaker before
Right.
Suicide Squad and that came out? And so, but Superman, he's like, there's nobody that hadn't heard of Superman. I mean, if you went to a foreign country and asked people that wasn't into comics at all to name some superheroes, it's probably going to be Superman or Batman or Spider
Right.
Man. So, I mean, he's real established. So, to take that character and take him in a different direction, I think they made him too much of a beta male, and it just, he made some choices and there were some decisions that were very unsuperman like. And so I'm real curious as to what you think when you see it. But yeah, me and Teresa, yeah, we didn't care for it at all.
Okay. Well,
So what else you want to talk about?
so as a geek, one of my first adult purchases when I got out on my own, believe it or not, was the biggest thing of Legos I could buy.
Yeah,
And because in my mind, your imagination is what makes Legos what Legos are.
yeah,
Now, they sell sets, and I love the Lego community because they're taking these sets that might be a flamingo or might be a plant or whatever, and they're seeing what they can actually make out of it. Like this one customizer, every set he gets his hands on, he sees how close he can make them into a Millennium Falcons.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, and just some of the creativity of what these people can do with Legos just blows my mind. And there's a site you can go to. There's a Lego site to where you can just buy individual bricks. Like if you're missing a brick or stuff, and it's cheaper. Like if you're wanting a set and you can't afford it because it's like 100 and some bucks, you can download the instructions, the parts list, and you can purchase those parts individually for like a 2/3 of the price of
Oh,
what it
really?
would cost to buy the whole set. You don't have the box, but
Yeah.
you had the set. But anyway, I thought that was cool. I just love to see people's creativity when it comes to toys and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not into Goonies, but Teresa is,
Right.
and they've got a new Goonie set comes out with the whole ship and the little characters, but it's like $300 and some dollars.
Yeah, right.
You know, and I mean,
Yeah, one of my daughters are into the Harry Potter Lego sets,
yeah,
and the money she has spent to keep that collection going, it's just crazy. I mean, I guess it's not crazy if that's your thing.
yeah, if that's what
I've
you're
spent
into.
some stupid money, but on toys, but phew, that's a lot of money for plastic.
So you've always been a DC guy, and I was a Marvel guy, and you were
Yeah.
more Star Wars, and I was more Star Trek.
Right.
And you were more PlayStation, and I was more Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
We're very similar, but very different. Well, PlayStation beat Xbox. PlayStation beat Xbox. That war is over. It's over.
Okay.
Yeah, the new
All right.
the new PS5 has sold more than twice the amount of the Xbox X, and Microsoft, who owns Xbox, you know, so they've jacked the prices up on their Xbox Pass.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
that's where you pay, and then you can pay to play. You know, you can play all these different games. You don't necessarily have to buy them. You just pay a monthly subscription, and you can log on. So they jacked that up, made people upset. They actually leaked that they were going to not have any more consoles because this console, the last console, sold so bad. They're going to have like a little handheld device which has a monitor on it. You can log on to your account with it. Basically, you got a controller with a screen on it.
Okay.
So you log on to your account, and then you can play on that little screen, or you can cast it to any smart television or a laptop or a computer screen, any other
So
screen.
the advantage is it's trapezoid. So
Yeah,
you can take it wherever you go.
So they, but there's no, you know, you can't stick a game disc in. There's no hard drive or anything like that. So I mean,
Well,
you
I
know,
mean, so many people are downloading movies and music and stuff like that, and it's not physical form. And,
Right.
And the thing is if your phone jacks up or you lose that subscription or whatever,
Yeah.
you've lost that thing
Yeah.
that you paid for.
I mean, I got Lord of the Rings on DVD that I bought when Lord of the Rings they first released it back how many decades ago, and I've watched them things every year since, and just paid that one initial price.
Yeah, right.
As opposed to logging on to a streaming service that I pay monthly and then having to pay to watch it every time I want to watch
Yeah, I own like 3 versions of Star Wars on VHS. Then when George Lucas decided to redo it, and then, I mean, I've got like 3 physical copies, and I'm like,
Well, George needed that money, so it worked
yeah,
out good.
right.
So what else you want to talk about?
Well, speaking of Star Wars and toys, there's not too many figurines or characters in Star Wars that they haven't created.
Right.
So I seen a new one that's being released, and you all will have to put your comments on the and down below what you think about it. Kenner is coming out with a Darth Vader. You know how when the Emperor was shocking him, you could see the skull there for a second.
Yeah. See skeleton
So
inside.
the helmet is somewhat transparent,
yeah.
and you can see the skull.
Yeah,
and then it comes with electricity that you can like attach to him.
Yeah. Do you want it? Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't bought any of the like 6-inch figures in a while.
Yeah.
but, I mean, that's kind of unique, but I mean, they're just like reaching for that one. It's just, I seen it and I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah, and sometimes they've had to go back and make multiple. I mean, they've released, it's hard to tell how many times they've released Boba Fett and Darth Vader's and Luke Skywalker.
Right.
Because like you said, you run out of characters after
I'd
a
end
while.
up sticking like a little light behind him that kind of flashes on and off.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that little head would kind of glow. That'd be kind of cool.
So let me ask you something.
I didn't do it.
Do you like floppies? Or do you like, I know where your mind's
It
going.
depends what they're serving.
Or do you like trade paperbacks, omnibuses? I was having a discussion with a guy named Craig at a local comic book store, and he was talking about how he enjoys, he only buys comics and trade paperbacks,
Right.
And so that way he's getting the complete story. And so where I prefer floppies, probably because of nostalgia.
Right,
Floppy's just an individual old comic like
Right.
they've had for decades.
The monthly.
Yeah, yeah. And so that way, whereas if I get one, I have to wait a month to get the rest of the story, and then a month to get the next rest of the story. Whereas if he just waits till the trade comes out, he's got the entire story. Now, the advantage of floppies is that trades never go up in value. Some people will argue that and say that, well, once they're out of print, they're worth a lot of money. But something that's out of print can go back into print, just like that.
Right.
Like I got a bunch of Lone Wolf and Cub omnibuses. They were like super hard to find. And then once I got them all, then they come back into print. And you can pick them up for a song and a dance. So, I like floppies. What do you like?
Well, the floppies, I've done that too. I've collected some of the older floppies, and then they reprint them. And so, if you didn't have the date in the front, you wouldn't know any different.
Yeah, that's a big thing now, doing they call them facsimile copies.
What do I prefer? In my opinion, it's kind of like when you're hitting me. If it's a new comic and I can collect the single issues, it's kind of like you kind of get excited about the next one. Oh God, I can't wait till next month. There's that excitement.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, if it's a story that's been wrote in the past,
yeah,
I don't want to go to the trouble of trying to hunt up all the individual ones because there's chances that I'll miss some. I know you can go online and order a lot of that stuff. If I can just pick up an omnibus or just a trade paperback, I do that.
I've done both, but for the most part, I get just the individual issues.
Right.
So you got anything else?
Okay. I'm big into toys. That's all I've talked about this today is. So I think it's Mezco. Is that toy company?
Mezco?
Mezco.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a cartoon that came out, I think 10 years ago, 10 or 11 years ago now, called Over the Garden Wall.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about that.
So they're coming out with action figures for it. Yeah, and they have like interchangeable heads and interchangeable expressions. And it comes
Mezco's high end, so you're probably looking at $100 a figure. But they'll call it $99.
These are spot on. You could do some like stop motion animation with them. They're so damn good.
Yeah.
So
do you want them?
Yeah, but like you said, they're gonna be more than I'm willing to chuck them.
Well, the thing is, I'm getting old like you.
Right.
I'm trying not to accumulate stuff anymore.
Right.
I'm actually trying to
thin out
my collection.
Right.
And my kids and grandkids aren't interested in what I'm interested in. So I would like my collectibles, what I've cherished, as I get rid of them, to try to give them to somebody else that will cherish them.
Oh, that's
so
good.
Like them.
See, because what I used to admire about you is if you thinned out a collection, you were willing to let stuff go, but you'd either sell it and use that money to get something new.
Yeah.
You were kind of like, okay, I was into this, I'm not into this, let me trade it or let me sell it, and then I'll use that to build up. And so you're not like really losing a lot.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was kind of smart.
Yeah. You got anything else?
No, once I start calling you smart, I'm done.
Okay, yeah. I can mark that on the calendar once we're done here.
Right, in your diary.
We'll celebrate it every year from now on. So my comic book recommendation is actually just a book recommendation. And this is a shameless self-promotion. But I wrote my second book. It's called The Wolf Howls and the Viking Roars. And how the book come about was I went looking for a movie that was like Vikings versus werewolves.
Right.
I couldn't find one. So I went looking for a book that was Vikings versus werewolves. And when I first started writing this, it didn't exist either. I looked for a comic, couldn't find it. Now, since then, there is a book
okay.
called Viking Wolf, and there's a comic called Viking Moon.
Huh.
But anyway, so the story here is set in Arendal, Norway in ancient times. And there's 3 brothers in the story. And the brothers are loosely based. I say loosely that way if they get aggravated over something I wrote. I'm like, I said loosely. So loosely based on myself and Robert and our brother Matthew. So anyway, it's available at Amazon and some local bookstores here in Kentucky. So, matter of fact, we just come back from the Ren Fair and it was there as well. So if you get a chance, pick it up. If you pick it up and read it, leave me a review. If you like it, cool. If you don't, oh well, whatever. So You done?
I'm done.
All right, we're done. I appreciate you watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button. It makes Robert happy.
Yeah.
And notification bell. And stay geeky, my friends.
Later.